Hey friends, I am hanging out in the backyard. It is 56 degrees today. Beautiful. We are just wrapping up our spring break here in Michigan for my kids' school. We went to Arizona, and I will put up like a little mini clip with all of our pictures from that and tell you a little bit about our trip there. But we are back, and as good as it is to go visit somewhere else, it's just as good to come back, right? So I'm gonna go around, and I think for the most part, our freezing hard freeze temps are kind of behind us. We're starting to head into those weird nights where it's flirting with it, making you nervous. But it's getting time to start getting things outside. So I thought today I would walk around. I'm gonna look at all the different beds I have, see what's growing, and kind of give you an idea of what's gonna go in them and what my plan for it is this year. So coming out my back door, it's crazy. I got this wooden deck here. One day this is going to turn into stamped concrete one day. And here's my backyard. I have lots of pots here. Some of them have things in them, some don't. This is chamomile. It comes back every year. And I don't remember what I planted in this pot. So we're going to all be surprised together. I've got these blocks here that I might use over in the beds. I'm not exactly sure how I'm doing it. Pretty much this is just kind of the getting ready area. Over here I have got two 16-foot long beds. They're actually the same bed. This top one is I think 18, a foot and a half, and this is 2.5. I forget. They're 3, I don't remember. But they're 16 feet long. When I actually plant them, I'll measure them for you. These have not been cleaned out yet. I've left these alone this year. I am going to come through, and you can see I've got all these guys. These are all garlic from last year. Last year I planted garlic in here and it didn't do very well. I never harvested it, but it looks like it's all gonna come up this year. So what that usually means is that it's not gonna be good storage garlic. It's gonna try and go to seed, but we'll find out, I guess. So I gotta clean this all out still yet. As far as what I'm gonna put in this one, I think my goal this year, in the past I've done tomatoes. You can see I got all the tomato vines still there waiting to be cleaned up. I'm going to do things a little different this year. I'm going to do tomatoes out in my main garden, which is a big risk, but I'll do some at my mom's just in case. But I think I'm going to do beans here, and I think that I'm going to do some peppers down here, but I'm also going to do some of my summer squash back here. I'm just going to give my other garden a break from summer squash, I think, and try some of them back here and see how they go. I don't know. It might work. It might not. We'll see. Next to it here is the chicken coop. We've got a chicken story for you in a second. But this area right here is all kind of made up of things that I'm trying to build up to come on their own. So I have got chamomiles in here. 1, 2, 3 of them. Right in here where she's eating. Please don't eat that. That's hyssop. And in here I had a whole bunch of flowers last year that are known to self-seed. So if they come back up, that'll be great. In these pots I've got coneflower. These are baby coneflowers starting to come up. You can see there's a couple here, here, here. And then in these buckets here I have got, this is oh, the name is evading me currently. I'll think of it. I'll think of it later when we're far away. What the heck is that? I'll put it on the screen. And then I have these 2 green stalks, which in the past I've grown lots of different things in. I have got a weed growing in this one, but I've also got chamomile up in this one. I'm gonna have to recharge all these. These are things where the soil loses nutrients because it doesn't have any access to the ground underneath. You do have to keep giving this nutrients. So I will go ahead and give this some fresh soil and compost and some liquid fertilizer. Now I also have this thing growing in here. And I really don't remember putting this in here, but it might be a cutting I took from my Bush's plant. So I'm gonna leave it alone and we're just gonna see what happens. Wouldn't that be neat? Huh, I don't really remember doing that. This is where having a YouTube channel comes in very useful. I'll go back and look and see what I did there. That'd be amazing if that rooting took hold. Ah! Okay, I mentioned I had a chicken story. I had a chicken sitter for me while we were gone. And one of the chickens got their neck caught in the door. Doesn't that sound terrible? It was just traumatizing for her, for me, for everybody, the chicken. What happened is I use a deep litter method system, and it means the inside, watch out girls, the inside of this gets higher up. Can you kind of see how it gets higher? And it was falling in here and the bottom wasn't closing all the way on the door. And a chicken got its head through there and couldn't get it back out. So here's the thing about chickens, they're mean. So if you have an injured chicken, oh, loud truck. If you have an injured chicken, the other chickens will peck her to death. So Snowy here, hey girl, is in chicken jail. You can see her neck is really sore. Oh, doesn't she look terrible? She looks way better than yesterday. So we're taking care of her. She is in isolation, not because she's in trouble, because it is better for her. So she has water and I feed her in there and the rest of the chickens are out here. Hey girls. So yeah, chicken trauma. Almost time to clean that cage out. Flip into this side of the yard, there's my compost pile. And over on this side, I've got another 16-foot long bed. This bed is going to be my cool season crop bed. I have cleaned it mostly out. I will probably top it off with some compost. And I am going to be adding, I've got a string trellis. Can you kind of see it there? I'm going to be adding peas all along the back. Big, tall climbing peas. And I'm going to be doing short dwarf peas in the front. In the middle, I'll be doing things like carrots. I'm going to put some cabbages and some Brussels sprouts, broccoli, that kind of stuff all on the ends. And that way, when this bed is done, it's all done together and I can reset it. I got this little bed right here, which is right now just collecting junk. This was melons last year and cosmos. I think I will do something very similar to that again. Sorry about my shadow. And work a little bit more on kind of putting things inside these holes that are perennial. You can see I do have a perennial coming up here. That's a hyssop right there. Nice. Over here outside the fence in the backyard, this has been my driveway. I do have this bed, which I have been working on a little bit. It's got strawberries in it. And I have 2 celery that overwintered that are growing new leaves. So I'll be adding a couple more celery into here. I will be leaving this be strawberries. I've got some flowers coming up. I think these are a daffodil. Squirrels planted these. I did not plant them. And then I'm going to use these to grow cucumbers here this year. So I'm going to let pretty much the strawberries kind of come in wherever they want to go. Grow some cucumbers here with some flowers in front. Same thing over here on this little one. I put the other sawhorse here. I have ranunculus growing down here, which is amazing to me. They're not supposed to overwinter. I'm going to let those go, and then I'm going to plant cucumbers around that. Over here in this corner, I am going to grow a Dr. Witchy's tomato. I did last year, did really good here, along with some sunflowers. And then more pots. So many pots. As always, this video does not bind me to whatever I'm telling you here, because I change my mind a lot, especially when you get to the point of the season where you've planted a lot of things and you're just plugging holes with whatever you got left over. Things end up in weird spots. So this is my plan, but my plan is flexible. Very, very flexible. This is one of my favorite garden spaces down the side of the driveway. I love it so much. We might rip the driveway out this year, get a whole new driveway. Wouldn't that be fun? We wouldn't rip this part out though. This part would stay. These are my beds that my husband made me. They have nothing in them on purpose. I don't know what that is. Oh, but look at these guys. These are poppies. Look, there's some more over here. I had poppies in a basket over here. In this basket over here. Whoa, that's really close. Sorry. And looks like they seeded right there. I'll take it. I don't mind. I usually do cherry tomatoes here, which I think I probably will again this year. I have done cucumbers here and they've gone up the window really tall. That's been fun. But I think it's going to be cherry tomatoes this year, and I might do something in front of yet, which I have undecided. Now this is exciting over here. Remember we planted some early things. I got some early things sprouting. Here's my spinach, guys. Hey, baby spinach. Isn't that exciting? And In the front, we planted little dwarf peas, and they are coming up too. So I have my first sprouts of the season, and it's the first weekend in April. That's pretty amazing. Down here, I've got the succulents in here. I know last year I was going to work on cleaning these out and getting them looking a little bit nicer. This year I'm going to have to. I've got ones that are dead that I need to make some room. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love this one. Yeah, I'm going to need to clean these up a little bit still. Here's the other matching bed to the one I just showed you. Again, usually cherry tomatoes, some flowers. I've tried many times to grow things in the front here. They don't usually do very well, but I'll probably keep trying. That's a weed. And then over here in the corner, I put like 4 strawberry plants in here last year, and now look at them all. Unreal. So these are all strawberry plants. And in the corners down here, this and this are dianthus. And they will bloom shortly. How pretty is that? In here, I will probably add sunflowers into the back, I would imagine. And I don't know, some other kind of flower, maybe zinnias in here. The pots up front got some tulips trying to come on up. And I don't know if you can tell, let's see here. I've got buds, focus, buds on my hydrangea. This is what I think I grew part of in the back. I'm not really sure yet. Nice, huh? I usually plant something pretty in here, maybe begonias. Same thing over on this side. Tulips coming up and buds. Back in here, this whole area needs to be cleaned out. I haven't got any of the stuff out of here yet. It's a little early to start messing with all that, but you can tell I've got all of my tulips coming up. My crocuses have already bloomed and are fading actually. And then back here, I have got something coming up and I don't know what it is. Maybe glads. It might be glads. I'm not sure. I found this variety of glads that's supposed to overwinter here in Michigan. I don't know if they will or not. There's some more. Not really sure. And then here, this crazy dead looking viney thing. That's a clematis and it's not dead. It's got buds. I don't know if I can get close enough. Oh, here's a couple. Let me see if I can try and zoom in. There you go. See, it's just coming to life. These clematises come in different kinds. You can get ones that bloom on old wood, which is like you leave the stalks alone. You can get ones where you trim them down to the ground and they grow new every year. And I think there's a third kind that I can't quite remember. So it's important to know what kind you got. The unfortunate thing is I don't know what kind this is. It's purple. So I leave it alone and we just see what happens, and so far that's served me well. Back in here, I've got a corner bed. I've got some trellising up the side of the fence with a bed there. I have done tomatoes there. I've done cucumbers there. I tried beans last year and the pill bugs ate them all down. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do there, but I think I'm gonna do tomatoes there. And then here, man, my yard is noisy today. Sorry for all the large trucks. I've got some perennials coming up here. Right there, I've got one. I've got some lilies coming up there and some tulips. Again, there's lots to clean up here, but there's tons and tons of succulents, some black-eyed Susans, some chicks and hens. Lots coming up. These were all crocuses that already bloomed and are gone. Oh, look it. Hello, little woolly caterpillar. How are you? Welcome to my garden. Hey, little chickadee. How are you? You are also welcome in my garden. Are you trying to eat my bug? All right, over here, all the bugs are welcome to my yard. Okay, all the bugs, all the birds, come on in. There is space for you here. So, tulips, irises. These are my herbs that are perennial. I've got sage, thyme, lemon balm back there. This thing that looks all dead is phlox that I haven't cut down, but you can see at the base, right down there, that it is coming back. I just need to get in and clean it out in the next maybe week or two. I'm not in a giant hurry to clean out stuff out of my garden. There are bugs that are living there that are overwintered there. So I'm not in a huge hurry. Down here again, a whole bunch of crocuses, some geraniums. Here's the columbines. Columbines always bloom really early. Those look lovely. And there's my rose bush. You can see I got two nice, big, huge, healthy stalks. A lot of dead wood in here that I got to trim out. But I'm pretty new to rose bushes, so I'm being very cautious with that. Over here, the wind blew my trellis down. Not good. All kinds of things in here too. I'm working to make all of this be mostly perennial. So every year you just need to clean it up and trim it down and not worry about it too much. The only exception to that is this right here, which we built. And last year I just threw all my compost in it. And in the fall, I threw all my compost in it and it fell about halfway. I had dahlias planted in it last year. I'll just keep filling that, making a compost pile in my front yard that nobody knows about, topping that with some soil and planting some flowers in it every year. It's very convenient. Very convenient. I'll put beans back there. Well, hello, garden puppies. Well, hello, my garden puppies. What's up? That's Bella and Bailey. Hi, girls. And I always wind up my tours on this part of the garden. This is the big in-ground garden. But along the fence here, I'm going to try something new this year. I don't know if I mentioned this in a video or not. You can see I've got all kinds of, those are all tulips coming up there, and I have black-eyed Susans, and I usually do sunflowers here, which I am going to put some sunflowers in. However, I'm going to try and grow a couple tomatoes up a trellis on there. It's a great spot. This area gets a ton of sun. I think they'll do really well. They'll be really easy for me to walk along and prune. I don't know how out of control they're going to get. And I don't know how well they're going to do with this soil because I only have, I don't know, 6 inches, 5 inches of soil here. Now, it leads to more soil behind it. So if the roots go down, it's going to be okay. And I will fertilize them. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. So that'll be the big experiment this year. As far as the in-ground garden, I have been cleaning this up because I do want to get some things planted that are cool season. So I've been putting all the sticks and stuff in a pile over here. You can see there's some garlic here that I forgot again, just like in the backyard. I'll just let that go. No big deal. Other things in the garden that are coming up are right here. These are all alliums. They're decorative alliums. This is the mother plant right here. You can see if I dig her out, she's got all that green coming in. They give off seeds like crazy, and I get these babies everywhere. I'll let some of them stay, but some of them I'll pull out. Here's a whole other group of them. Hi, girls. Hi, girls. Hi, girls. Hi, girls. And here's one over here. Here's the other big mama one. So this is a seed head, and you can just see, watch, I'll just squish these in my hand. Can you see how many seeds there are? So many seeds in there. So that's how come I end up with a bunch of them. But this garden, oh, look, there's an onion, I forgot. Whoops, I'm gonna leave that there and let it go to seed and get onion seed for the year. So onions make seed their second year, so that'll be perfect. Big garden, back row this year. I'm going to come in about 1.5 feet. I'm going to put a cattle panel, and I'm going to put a giant row of tomatoes. Now, you're saying, Stephanie, that's your front yard, which technically belongs to the city. Are they going to complain about a giant row of tomatoes? And my answer is, I hope not. I'm hoping to push the envelope a little bit here in my front yard this year. We'll see if I get away with it. I don't really know. I'm hoping to put an entire row of tomatoes, pepper plants, and then teepees for beans right here in the front yard. It's the easiest place for me to grow bigger things, but I have never grown things this big before, and I'm worried that I might get yelled at. We'll find out, right? Listen, worst case scenario, somebody yells at me and I gotta trim things down to a lower level. I have tomato plants at my mom's. Now, I don't want that to happen, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. Okay, friends. Now I have to go make dinner for my kids because apparently you need to feed them every night. So I can't spend the whole night out playing in my garden, and spring break's over. So back to a regularly scheduled program, I guess. All right, I hope you enjoyed the little impromptu tour, seeing some green things, and I will talk to you again soon. Have a great day.